Hey everyone, this week we're reviewing the Sigma 105mm 2.8 macro lens. So this week I've come out to the Tropical Butterfly House in Sheffield and I'm hoping to do some butterfly macro shots. I've used the Sigma 105mm quite a lot in my other macro videos, but I've never actually done a full-on review about it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to head over to the Butterfly House and hopefully get some really good shots there, and we'll talk about the lens along the way. So today I'm using the Sigma macro lens on my D500 body. I want to use a crop sensor body because that gives you just a little bit of extra field of view. So it seems like you're closer to your subject than you are with a full frame camera. And that really helps with the butterflies because it means I can get the shot, get the butterfly nice and large in the frame, but I don't have to get too close to the butterfly itself. But it is worth noting that this works really well on full frame cameras. And it also works really well on my Z7. Using the FTZ adapter, it autofocuses really well. When you're using the lens hood with a crop sensor, you have to use this little adapter here. This would be for a full frame camera, but with the APS-C, you need to attach this adapter and then you attach this to the lens, and then you get the full benefit of the hood. Build quality feels really nice. It is a plastic lens, but it does feel quite premium, and it's got a really nice semi-matte finish, which is quite nice to the touch. For quite a long lens, it's not particularly heavy, and it's got a really nice action on the focusing ring. I did say in a previous video, I think it was my winter macro video when I was getting macro shots in the snow, I said this was weather sealed, but it actually isn't weather sealed. It is only dust and splash resistant, so bear that in mind. I haven't had any problems with it, but yeah, it's not going to be fully weather sealed. So when it comes to lens construction, you've got 16 elements in here in 11 groups, and you've also got 2 special low dispersion elements in here, which Sigma say will help to reduce chromatic aberration and spherical aberration and things like that. So there's no purple or green fringing most of the time, which is really good. So you can achieve a maximum aperture of f2.8 with this lens, but it is worth noting that you're not always going to get that maximum aperture because it depends how close you are to your subject. If you're really close, you're probably only going to get down to 3.2 or 3, something like that. You do need to be fairly far away from the subject to get that 2.8. The minimum aperture is f22, but you're probably not going to be using the widest or narrowest apertures with this lens. You want to be somewhere in between. I probably wouldn't go above f16, and I tend not to go below f5.6, something like that. You've got the sweet spot in between where it's nice and sharp and you get really good quality images. The lens has got a maximum magnification ratio of 1:1. That means that you'll be able to reproduce the size of your subject at the exact same size on your sensor. It's worth noting that you're not going to achieve that in all situations. Depends how close you are to your subject and things like that. The focusing is all internal with this lens, so you're not going to get any movement or extension of the lens as you're focusing. It is really fast and snappy and it's fairly quiet. You've got a focus limiter switch on the side, So it's worth using that. If you're really close to your subject, set it to 0.312 to 0.45 meters, or otherwise set it to 0.45 meters to infinity. You can also set it to full, but if you've got it set to that, it will be trying to focus within the full range and it will take a lot longer to focus. So image quality is exceptional with this lens. It's so sharp, clear, you've got really good colours. You do lose a little bit of quality in the corners when you're at the widest or narrowest apertures, but that's to be expected and you're not really going to be using those apertures most of the time. I'll throw up some images now so you can compare what the results are like between f2.8, f7.1 and f22. And you'll notice that it is really good sharpness in the centre across the whole range, but like I said, you do get a little bit of fall off in the corners. So let's talk about the other two buttons we have on the side of the barrel. We've got the one in the middle here which switches between autofocus and manual. Obviously it's quite self-explanatory. You can either have it set to autofocus, or if you want to use the focusing ring in manual mode, you can just switch it using that little button there. The bottom one is the optical stabilizer, and you've got 3 different positions. You've got off, so obviously you're not using it. You've got your standard optical stabilization. That counteracts for up and down and a little bit side to side. And then you've got position 2, which is more specialised for panning left to right. But today I'm just using it in the centre on position 1. Right, it is incredibly hot in here, must be at least 40 degrees. I'm absolutely dripping with sweat, so I'm going to wrap up. Just want to say that the Sigma lens is really good. I've used it for over a year now and I found it exceptional. I was going to get the Nikon Z 105mm to start with, and I haven't regretted getting this one instead because it's been really good. Like I said, the sharpness is fantastic, the handling, the performance, the construction, everything's really good. I don't really have much bad to say about it, to be honest. I can't think of anything. So I'll definitely recommend getting one because the cost of it is so much less than the Z lens. So that's about it for this one. Massive thanks for watching, I really do appreciate it as always. Next week I'm hoping to do the second part of this where I'll be using the 300mm lens to capture images of the exotic birds which are here as well. So I hope you'll join me next week for that one, but if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed and you'd like to do so, just click down there on the big red button or over here on this picture of me, and that way you can stay up to date with everything I'm doing each and every week. There's a new video every Sunday morning at 10 AM UK time. So like I said, hope you'll join me next week, but until then, thanks a lot everyone, and bye for now.